Hello and welcome to This Contains Garlic. You are here with your hosts Georgia Garlic and
Mark Garlic,
we are back after quite a while.
back with a vengeance.
Really? We're just having a bit of a chat today.
Yeah, we've had a
been
bit of a
busy.
hiatus, but we've been quite busy, very busy. So that's why you haven't
I don't think
heard
anybody
from
will
us.
ever tell you that you're not busy. Do you know what I mean? There's just something in us as humans where we just have to constantly tell
everyone's
people that we're busy. We actually have been quite busy in the sense of general terms, and that's why the podcast has not been around for a couple of weeks, but it's back. We're here. Obviously,
George
for
has
those...
been to Milan, which has been quite interesting. So, what other things have been quite
Yeah, I
interesting?
went to Milan and I left my husband unaccompanied for 2 days. And what did you
Unsupervised.
eat? Not very...
So
Not
the first day, because there wasn't that much in terms of supplies, I just
Okay,
kind
I'm just going
of
to interrupt now. I did say to Mark, are you sure that maybe before I go away for a couple of days that you don't want me to, buy food in or sort out, something for so you can feed yourself? He was like, no, I'll sort myself. I then get a WhatsApp literally 3 hours after me being away from Mark, and he's eating French fries
yeah,
cooked from the freezer, tuna mayo, cheese.
delicious,
Like...
delicious.
That is the most classic male meal when you're unaccompanied. And then Mark swallowed that down with a lot of chocolate, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't have the most nutritionally balanced day to start off
I
with.
think
I
Mark
would
was
put
quite
it down
emotional.
to stress eating.
Stress eating because his wife had
I
left
love
him.
chips though, so any chance to have some chips, I'm
Yeah,
always
I
keen.
mean, Mark would literally, I haven't eaten mashed potato in ages because
Yeah,
Mark
I
just
love chips.
refuses to eat mashed
It's not that I
potato.
refuse to eat it. It's just
You
if I
do.
have
Every
a
time you look at me and you're
choice.
like, oh, and I'm like, what, Mark? And you're like,
It's just chips
I just
are
think I'd
so
prefer
much better.
chips.
Chips or roast potatoes or.
I think
I
if there
redeemed
was...
myself on the second day though. So yeah, first day didn't go according to plan, which was obviously stick to my calories and be a good boy. It kind of went pear shaped.
And then you're
Georgia,
awake at like 3 a.m. with heartburn.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's
Georgia
when you know.
generally tells me that I shouldn't be eating certain things. Rightfully so. Obviously, you keep me
No,
very
I don't tell
accountable.
you not to
So
eat things. Can you just
no,
like, I
like
tell you not to eat
eating
things at
chocolate
certain
at
times.
like
Like, don't
10:30 in the
think that
morning.
10 a.m. is okay to have a Kit Kat. Like,
Exactly.
push it past after you've actually eaten something.
Yeah, something more
Mark,
nutritious. So basically, unsupervised, I went a bit ham, and I just raided the chocolate
no, I
cupboard
mean, no.
early,
I
and then
mean, I
just
had a lovely time. I was in Milan. For those that want to know and be nosy as to why I was in Milan, because like me and Mark are never apart. So
I feel like everybody, like people were messaging me, and they were like my mother.
oh,
So,
like your mum. Like, I
so
feel like
like
everybody was messaging me. Like my mum was messaging me,
my family basically messaging me just
saying
like,
that, oh, we're
"Oh,
divorced.
you're on your own," and it was like, it's like I was
I'm not
handicapped.
gonna lie. Like your mum, like doesn't like any of my shit when we are not together. Like so, it's always got to be when me and you are together. If I was
Yeah, my mother's
single,
ride or die though.
ride or die. Yeah, you think that your mother would stick by you if you molested children?
Oh my god.
You did say that the other
Why?
day. We said that in a murder case or something like where you did something really fucked up, like Jeffrey Dahmer,
Yeah,
whether
he
or
didn't
not,
molest children, he murdered people.
Mark, there was children there. Like you can call a child anything under the age of 16. Didn't he
I
fucking
think there will
murder?
always be,
So you
a
think that if
level
you were
that.
Jeffrey Dahmer, that your mother would stay by you? My parents would be
No,
nowhere to
not
be
that they
seen.
stay by you, but it's a parent will always, to a certain degree, have some level of feelings
No, I don't think
towards.
so. With
Not
some...
everybody. I'm sure there's a vast
I
majority.
think my mum wouldn't even say bye. She'd just be gone. Do you know what I mean? There would be
No, your
no...
mother's very supportive,
Oh, what?
and
So she'd be supportive that I just murdered and like cut up a
I
load
think
of
she
people?
probably would though. Your mother's also pretty ride or die.
I know. In a situation like that, when I'd done something like that, absolutely no way would she be supportive of it.
Do you not think so?
No. I think
No,
Carol
nobody's
would
going to be supportive and go out of their way and be like, you did a really good thing murdering all those people. But
Well,
because they are your mother or father or whatever, they might, like, still
long story
tolerate you.
short, I think your mother would stand by you more in those weird
I don't think
situations than my mum
anybody
would.
morally
My mum
would.
wouldn't like, when you see those people in like the newspaper and they're walking to court and then you see the parents behind them, even though their children have like murdered somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think my parents would be there.
Like,
Like,
no.
I wouldn't be if I'd had a child either. If somebody, I'd be like,
Yeah, but some
bye. I
people
don't want to
are.
have my face all over the news.
Yeah, but some people...
I feel
They're
like
not.
you
It's not.
Zimbabweans are
It's
like
not.
really loyal though. I don't
It's
think
not.
us British
It's not
are.
that you like. Whenever I was naughty, my mother would never condone that behavior and would
You're like beaten up.
go up to, like, if I was done something naughty and got away with it, she would go up to the school and then tell all the teachers and the headmaster, so we'd get in trouble.
So you'd say your mum's actually a snitch. So if you had done
Kind
something,
of a. She is a kind of a snitch, but she also, she is pretty ride or die.
Well, anyway, moving from ride or dies, because Mark's not dead yet.
Yeah, so basically everybody messaged me and asked me if I was basically going to survive for 48 hours.
I just get the hint that like when we're apart, people actually think we've broken up. Like genuinely, that's what I think your mum thinks when I post things about you. Trust me, it's like honestly, like one of the people that likes my stories. Like when it's you, always a like. When it's just me, never a like. Anyway, moving.
Yeah, but that
No,
would
I
be
was,
the case with most in-laws, though. Do you know what I mean?
What the fuck? I think my mum would like a photo of you without me in it.
I
That'd
don't
be a
think
bit
she
weird,
has,
wouldn't
though.
it? I don't think she has. No, Jane's not a prominent one on the
there you
social
go.
likes.
It's not like she doesn't not see it.
Yeah, like for fuck's sake, Jane,
Yeah,
this is a fucking alert. Please can you like our Instagram post? The algorithm.
Maybe she likes
doesn't
Alex's
like
stuff because maybe she likes him more.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. I think Alex isn't a married part of the family yet, to be honest with you. So, as we always say in our family, until they're married, then what are they? Yeah, but no, I was talking of marriage, actually.
Yeah.
The reason I was in Milan is that a client asked me to be her bridesmaid, which I have to say at first I was quite surprised by, because I've been invited to many a client wedding. We have been to many clients' weddings all over the world, and it's like, it's pretty cool to go to, and especially when you've been like a massive part of somebody's life, I guess, in the sense. But yeah, no, I've never actually been asked to be a bridesmaid by a client, so this was a first. So yeah, I was taken to Milan. Sound like I was accosted. I wasn't. Obviously, I willingly went.
Like literally.
And we had dress fittings, but not just random shitty dress fittings. We're getting dresses actually made for us. So it was pretty cool in Italy because, it's like fashion houses and it's all at one with fashion.
Did you say ciao to anybody?
I actually came at one with Grazie.
Sorry.
Grazie. And actually, sometimes I actually said it, even though they were speaking English to me, I said grazie because I thought grazie.
There's nothing cringer than people trying to speak, like, actually,
Well, how well did you do in France when we went, Mark?
Oh, it's just
Bonjour,
like you're sitting there, you're like,
chocolat.
two.
Yeah, 2 pan raisins, like literally.
Can I have deux hot chocolate? You may as well not even bother.
And they're like, ça va? I don't even know what that means. No, comment, bonjour, comment, that's Spanish, comment estás? Bonjour, ça va? How are you? That's what it is.
You mix it, yeah. You
sorry, it's because I'm bilingual, Mark.
Literally multilingual.
Grazie, ça va, come estás? It's just it runs off the tongue, honestly. That's one of the things I really wish
you left the United Kingdom and you went to
Heathrow was just unbearable. It's because it was a Thursday and it was just like everybody going away for a long weekend. And
how many police were there when we got there?
Oh God, we arrived and I genuinely thought it was like the Hunger Games outside. It was intense.
Scary.
And then my mum and dad actually flew out the day afterwards to go to South Africa, and I asked my mum, I was like, was the airport like somebody was about to drop a bomb in there? And she was like, no. So maybe they were waiting for somebody. Maybe it was me they were waiting for.
As a British person, when you see the police, how do you feel?
Like sometimes, I'm not going to lie, when I drive, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, I don't want to lose my license. Do you know what I mean? Like that's like, you know what I mean? They'll just find something on you, won't they? That
Yeah.
I've been pulled over once,
But
but
when you see the police, do you feel scared?
no, because half of them look like they couldn't even run after me if they tried. Do you know what I mean? I
I
really
don't
would
know.
say that
Just
needs to be
whenever
a
I
bit
see
better.
the police, I get very nervous because.
Do you? I think the female police officers that I've met are very
Whenever you used to see the
abrupt.
police in Zimbabwe, you used to just.
Yeah, because they just take your shit away and you couldn't do
just-
anything about it. It's like, bye, okay, bye. In
Oh,
the
my
UK, they're like, sir,
days.
madam.
Don't stop. My dad and I got into a car chase with the police, and the guy pulled out a gun and pointed it at me at the traffic lights.
And they would have killed you, though. Maybe
And
not.
my father just said drive, and I drove through there, and it was like a rally car in my 1.4
Oh my God, you
Corsa.
never told me this. What the fuck? How is this coming out on a podcast? You were in a rally.
literally.
What, are you Fast and Furious?
No, the guy.
Even the dog's
we drove
barking.
We drove through a police roadblock because my father was like, "Just drive," because I was in a South African registered car that I'd purchased whilst I was at university, and we drove through amber light,
Oh, it
which
seems
in
like a boring
Zimbabwe.
story.
Yeah, okay, fine.
You drove through a rival.
You're so
You
rude.
drove, it wasn't even like you were running
You're
away
so
from
rude.
someone. You just got in the car and by mistake went through a traffic light wrong. But the thing in the UK, you'd have to do more than that to get pulled over. But then we saw somebody get pulled over outside our house the other day and he full on went at the police officer. There was a full of punch up. I even videoed it. I was going to put it on social
It wasn't that
media.
exciting. It was quite boring.
Well, you didn't see it. It was like a Peaky Blinder outside.
I did
Don't
see it.
fucking lie. You were like out of the window, like, oh yeah, mate, like commentating,
Yawning.
yawning.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, like, let's just not pretend that you didn't nearly not
I
survive.
can't believe you
whilst I
just
was away.
off-railed my story and said it was boring.
Well, I just feel like it was just going through a
Well,
robot.
did you have a gun pointed at you? No. So that's pretty exciting.
I've only been arrested once, and that was
And
for being
rightfully
drunk and
deserved.
disorderly.
Yeah,
It wasn't
probably
being drunk and
rightfully
disorderly.
so.
It was actually due to the people I was around who were just yobs in general. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
Shouldn't
my
have probably
days.
been
What
around
happens if
those
someone's
people.
watching this and
I
you
don't
just
give
call
a
them
fuck.
a
Do you know what I
yob?
mean? They need to know.
What is a yob? Like
Somebody that my grandparents probably wouldn't approve of. Like somebody with an ASBO, antisocial
ASBO?
behaviour.
I thought that was a car.
Oh God, do you know what I mean? That's African of you.
Like a Ford Fiesta.
No, if you've got an ASBO, it's something, doesn't mean you've got fucking Astra, Vauxhall Astra. That being said, anybody that drives a Vauxhall Zafira can't drive. But that was
That's
just...
such a hectic
No,
statement.
it's not a hectic statement. I don't, honestly, I've seen so many people drive like maniacs in Vauxhall Zafira, including taxi drivers.
Do you
I've sat
think
in.
people drive better in the UK than as opposed to Cape Town?
Well, you know what? I will admit, I've always been quite a cocky driver, cocky enough to crash after I passed my test and like ruin my car. But then I think Cape Town, there was something about, you know what it is in Africa? I feel like Cape Town's it's such a prestigious part of Africa. You can't really compare it. But
Yeah, it's like
I do feel
Africa
like
light.
sometimes you look at other people on the road, you think, how the fuck are you driving? And Africa's one of those places where you're like, oh my God, like, I don't believe that in Africa, if you had a car crash, that one would stop and like share insurance details. I think you'd just be fucked. And so my confidence of driving on motorways in Africa became less. Even though here, I just feel like here people are more courteous in a way, aren't they?
Yeah,
like they'll be like,
by a
oh
long
goodness,
shot.
please, like, can I have your insurance? Or please, can we go like settle this separately? Or you know what I mean? But
Just generally, like, even just letting people in
I
front
don't think
of you
half the
and
people have
stuff.
actually got licenses in Africa. That's the thing. So I'm like, if you needed to source some of these people,
Especially
I don't
the
think you
taxi
would.
drivers.
Exactly.
Remember how bad the taxi drivers were?
So then I was like, I kind of stopped driving like long distance in Cape Town. So like, I can't really comment on the roads. I only used to drive around the city centre. The minute it went onto the highway, I was like, Mark, you can drive. I mean, I was like that when I got to the UK, actually, back driving, but I've got over my fear now.
Yeah, you do half of the driving, which is...
Yeah, but we keep on having arguments about backseat driving at the moment.
I think we're equally as bad as each other.
Mark, okay, do you know what? I'll say this is the most annoying thing. Mark puts my indicator on for me.
Yeah, especially when you
Do you know
haven't put
how
it on and
fucking
you're turning.
annoying that is?
Yeah, but you know how annoying it is when somebody doesn't put the indicator on before they...
Mark indicates like 4 times round a roundabout. Nobody has time to see where you're going in different directions.
Yeah, well,
it's like to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right.
He's crashed their car.
Mark, you've been in a car chase. I wouldn't be proud of this.
Yeah,
There's a
and
lot
I
of
got
things
away.
in your life I wouldn't be
and
proud
I got
of.
away.
Sorry?
I got away.
I got away because I'm a fucking...
Yeah.
I am... Like, what's his name?
I've got skills.
Not Danny DeVito. Who's the person in
Danny
Fast and
DeVito.
Furious? Vin Diesel.
I'm like Jason Bourne, but like...
You fucking wish you were like somebody like that. I
mean,
think after me being away, although Mark did manage to cook himself a lamb roast.
The second day I redeemed myself.
I get this text, and I'm obviously out, like I'm very busy. And let me just repeat this. I was out all day. I was very busy. Mark says to me, "Do we have flour on WhatsApp?" And I'm like, "Oh God, this is when the gravy's going down."
Yeah, the gravy was...
And then I told him, "No, we've only got corn flour," and he actually puffed and sighed. I was like, "At what point have you even know how to make gravy?"
I was watching it on YouTube.
Oh my God, did you actually?
Yeah.
Like this last weekend you watched it on YouTube?
Yeah.
That's kind of cute in a weird way, but also like how
I watched
do you
it
not
on
know
YouTube. I did all the steps that the lady did.
Mark specifically went to Tesco because they have giant Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah, giant Yorkshire puddings, roast lamb with roast potatoes.
No vegetables,
No
though.
vegetables.
No fucking vegetables.
No,
if I don't cook them, you just don't eat them.
Chocolates pre and post.
Pre and post, because your wife's not there to tell you, like, at times is when you can eat them or not. But I enjoyed a nice lobster pasta.
You did. That looked delicious. What else did you see?
Actually, no. To start, I had salmon tartare. I sound like my grandma. My grandma used to like go over photos of what she'd eat on a holiday.
The original food blogger.
Pam's digital camera. No, I had salmon tartare, which was also really nice.
What were the options?
There was just too many, Mark, to be quite honest with you. It was a very nice place that looked over the cathedral in Milan. Then I had lobster pasta. I didn't eat one bread basket. But I was actually trying to still be vaguely on track. And I would say I completed that.
Yeah, you can.
But not on my protein. Italians can't really eat protein that much. Oh, no, that's such a fucking lie. I ate really good steak. And I actually came back to Mark and I said, this is a big statement, but I think that's the best steak I've ever eaten. And I've lived in Africa. That's a big statement because beef is insane.
That is quite a big statement.
But it was very, very good beef.
I guess Italian people really pride themselves on their...
That you'll see this, like you'll go to because I was obviously taken to very nice places.
I
just like to tell you that I am very important. But there was businessmen that when that were coming for lunch and they eat like a whole plate of ham, the dried hams.
Sounds good.
And then they'll have like a risotto, like a couple of glasses of wine and espresso, and then go back to work. But it's not. I guess meat-wise, unless you're eating steak, which was Argentinian, it wasn't Italian.
But surely the cow...
It's like pasta.
Is it imported beef from Argentina, or was it...
Yeah, it's imported.
Just an Argentinian restaurant with Italian produce?
Mark, don't speak to me like I wasn't,
I'm asking you a question. I'm not...
It was actually imported in from Argentina.
From Argentina.
Yeah. And it tasted like it as well. And it's just the fact that you're envious of the fact you weren't there eating it.
Yeah, I wasn't.
That you can
I was
then pass judgment like
tuna
that.
And
chips and mayo.
Tuna and McCain's chips that have been in the fridge for about 6 months.
Right. Point one, I've never kept anything in the freezer for longer than 3 months because I'm anal about things like this. I've diagnosed myself with it. What is it,
What
Mark?
have you got?
I don't like touching frozen things.
Oh, chirophobia.
Yeah, I don't know if this is actually a thing, but I've really got an issue with it. So any time I have to like rearrange anything in a freezer, like it's got to be at the ultimate like distance apart. I hate the sound of like iced things. This is why
Yeah.
I won't be able to go skiing again, or I won't be able to go ice skating,
Well, I
which
guess
obviously would be
it's
boring
like
anyway.
I hate the sound of like a spoon or like a fork hitting your teeth.
Specifically my teeth, or
No, just in general. No, just in general.
you would have hated it when I had a tongue ring in then, because I used to rub that between the front of my
Tongue rings
teeth, and
are
my
so
mum and dad used to
tacky.
look at me in disgust after
Yeah,
paying for
so
my
would I.
braces.
So would I. Tacky.
Oh, do you know what? You were tacky as a child as well.
Tacky.
You were tacky. You were only tacky. You didn't even own a
I have an
toothbrush when we
excuse to
met.
be.
Do you know what I mean? You were lucky you looked okay, because Jenny, I don't know how I even accepted that. Don't laugh. You're like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
It's
you
true.
were. I was gonna say very because I know certain people listen to this. I'm gonna be respectful, but you were moist is the word.
How could you describe me as moist? Sweaty? Do you know what I mean? Or like, you honestly like to compliment yourself so much. It's unbelievable. Says the one that used my
Thirsty.
toothbrush for like at least 3 months, and I
Yeah,
didn't
it was
even
love at first sight.
realise.
So
That's
these
when you
kind of
know
things.
that you just don't
If we're
care.
kissing all the time, then why can't we, with tongue?
I
then
think
why,
stop. Can you stop saying that? Like, what are you like?
Then why
6
can't
years
we
old
use,
talking tongue with
why
tongue
can't we-
with tongue? Do you know what I mean?
Why can't we use each other's toothbrush?
Tongue doesn't happen now with tongue. Do you know what I mean? That tongue can be no. With tongue is the worst saying.
French kissing.
Stop it. Why is it
Passionate.
French? Do you know what I mean?
Passionate kissing
Passionate kissing.
with vigor and
Well, how things have
intensity.
changed. Next year we will have been married for 5 years.
Doesn't feel like 5 years.
Oh, okay.
It
Feels like
less.
20 because you're a real ball and chain to my life.
Some would say a handbrake.
What?
What?
Yeah, but you can still do a handbrake turn.
Yeah. Vroom, bop.
That's not what we need to be talking about as anything to
So
do.
what else did you eat apart from lobster pasta and steak? Did you have breakfast
Tortellini.
items?
Eggs and soaked salmon, Mark.
Ooh, what was the salmon like? Was it super salmony? Was it?
No, actually, luckily it wasn't super salmon.
Do you like super salmony salmon? Do you know what I mean by
No,
that?
I don't really like oily fish that much. Like the idea
Like
of
I like,
using,
I do
tinned
like salmon,
fish.
but when it's like super salmony, then I'm not too keen.
I think coming from a Jewish family, I have been accustomed to very good smoked salmon.
The salmon
And I
your
feel
grandmother
like the
gives
cheaper
us
variations are the ones that are salmony, and the more
I'd never
acquired
eaten salmon
taste.
until I moved to the UK.
Well, where would you find a salmon in Zimbabwe? They
Swim me
normally
up
come
a
from
stream.
fucking Norway. Or actually, no, they don't. They come from Scotland as well, Scottish smoked salmon.
Yeah.
But specifically, if you're part of a Jewish family, my grandma's always only ever sourced the best salmon. They won't eat shit salmon. So like, yeah, if it is smoked salmon that's oily, I just don't like it. Same with mackerel. I'm not interested. Sardines. Anchovies.
The salmon your grandmother gives us is
Next
top
level.
notch.
Top notch. It's because it's from a really nice place in London. A place which is just probably not a place you would normally buy smoked salmon. But I would say in general, salmony salmon is not something. But I do like salmon tartare if it's raw salmon.
What's the
Sashimi.
stuff that
Sashimi.
What's that stuff I ordered at that one place that I instantly regretted?
Terrine.
Yeah, no. It sounded delicious.
That
and then
wasn't
it turned
salmon
out-
terrine. What was that? Cat food if it was
It
salmon.
was pork terrine.
It did look
and
like
it
cat
looked
food. That one of those
honestly like dog
Sheba
food.
tins just on the plate, upside down.
Disgusting.
Pork terrine. That was at a really nice restaurant though. That was at
Yeah, I
that-
double porked it. Pork
Tom's
starter and
Kitchen was-
pork main and ended up
yeah, and
feeling
that's when you know
quite
you've got
ill.
diarrhea for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
High fat meals. Like I'm not even talking like going for like a burger, like in the sense
Sausages.
of like, oh, I'm going to have a Five Guys. Like if you eat like too much cheese, like I'm talking like the other day we had. In fact, thinking about it, what extreme we took ourselves to. avocado, bacon,
Yeah, no, it
cheese,
was
chicken.
bad.
What was the other thing than that?
Rookie, schoolboy era.
Bacon. Did I just say that?
You
Can't
know
remember.
you've eaten too much fat when
It
you...
was a salad, and
when
honestly,
you-
my stomach was like, no.
Yeah, no.
Like, literally,
When you
no.
know you've eaten too much fat when you wake up
With
about to
heartburn.
vomit
Mark,
instantly from deep sleep.
from deep sleep. Mark's sometimes done that. It's just because he overeats.
Just literally,
This is not a healthy conversation.
No,
to be having.
no.
But I will say, like, having had a salad, like, I don't know, like, it's just high dietary fat because it's just so slow in your digestion.
I guess we've been so consistent with our.
Oh
with
yeah,
our
here we go
overall
again.
food.
I'm so consistent.
We have been, and
Yeah,
I
we
just
have.
think
Really,
that it
we
is
have
what it
really.
is. Like, we've been very consistent, and then when you obviously deviate off the regular
Yeah,
schedule.
like you do really struggle. Like I struggled when I went away just to like, because I'm so used to having like quite a high protein target a day.
Yeah, and like loads of vegetables and.
Yeah, you just
volume.
don't eat that. Like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love Italian food. I would eat it if we had no nutrition in this world, didn't even make a difference. I would eat Italian food all the time. But like, sometimes you're like, where can I have some tender stem broccoli? So,
Yeah,
well.
I just wondered the way you kind of do it yourself.
What would be your favourite meal though? This is a hard question.
Yeah,
actually.
this is a really tough question. It kind of varies from, day to day, depending on what mood you're
If
in.
you like, okay, right. So here we go back to you are Jeffrey Dahmer. You're on fucking life
jeez.
sentence. You're not
Okay.
killed in prison, and Carol's there
Yeah.
saying, "Mark, what do you want for your last meal?"
Oh, geez. I would. It's such a difficult question. I would probably maybe start off with some like variation of oats. I'm
What?
really enjoying
As a
oats.
3-course meal?
Yeah, starting off with oats.
Why do you have to be so different? I'm talking like a starter, Mark. Like,
Oh,
you
I'm
wouldn't
so
eat oats
sorry.
as a
Okay,
starter.
my last
Okay,
death,
fine.
my
you can
death
have
row
one.
meal's now
You've just
pre-
eaten oats in prison probably every day because you'll get some sort of shit fucking like
Yeah, I want
porridge.
oats. No, I want like nice oats with Biscoff spread,
Oh my
crunchy.
God.
I really like that.
Mark eats that every day.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, oh, geez, I don't know. I'd probably go with maybe a surf and turf or a combination of like a chicken schnitzel / steak. Ask for 2 mains, maybe.
No, you can only have one.
Yeah, okay. I'd try and get 2, but I'd try and negotiate my way into that. But I would probably just go with steak, and it would be a fillet on the bone.
Fillet on the bone with
Yeah.
truffle butter.
Yeah, something like that with a little bit of ketchup, some chips.
Ketchup just fucking ruined it.
Love a bit of chips. Maybe some bone marrow, garlic bone marrow would also go down, and then
No vegetables.
chili fried tender stem. Like
Chili fried tender stem.
with garlic. Yeah.
Well, now you've got garlic, bone marrow, and
Yeah, loads of garlic. Well,
garlic.
you're gonna be killed anyway, so you're gonna go down smelling like garlic. And then dessert wise, geez, I don't know. I would probably go as like cake or a pastry or something. But
a
probably
pastry.
cake.
Really, is that honestly?
Or
what
maybe
you-
a variety of
a
pastries.
donut, maybe.
No, probably cake. Either
Like a whole cake.
Hummingbird
velvet.
cake, red
No,
velvet.
not hummingbird. Flavortown cake, which is
Yes.
half red velvet, half
No,
Oreo.
what's that lady's cake that we had the other day?
Remy's.
Oh, yeah, that.
Oh yeah, that was introduced by a
Yeah,
client of
yeah,
ours,
that's-
Remy's. If
that's-
anyone listens to this in London, fuck if you can get your hands on a Remy's cake. Now she's massive though; she's expanded hugely. In fact, you
It's
can
like
get her on.
banana with like chocolate. Oh, it was so good.
You know, there's delivery services around London. Zap, try Zap, whatever it is. You can now get her cake on Zap. That's probably deadly though if
Highly
you live in.
recommend. Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly, Remy's cakes are that banana. No,
Yeah,
because you can
that
make your own
banana one.
banana cake. It's banana. Oh my god, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you can put like Reese's Pieces in it or like Nutella, and actually Remy set this up years ago because it was a client of mine about 5. Fuck, is it 5? No, 4
it was
years ago.
ages
4
ago.
years
No,
ago.
It was about 5 years ago.
When we were in London, who actually first originated was friends with them, and that was Remy. Well, yeah, she was he was friends with Remy. And then in came a cake, and then the cakes didn't stop for a while in the gym.
Yeah,
They were so good. Oh, the moistest. Oh, that word. We said moist twice and 3 times.
I think that's what my
with
with
cream.
a Diet Coke, yeah.
With a Diet Coke with ice, lemon.
Yeah, or maybe a variety.
No.
Of
Specifically,
fruit
needs to be McDonald's ice Coke. Very, very very, 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 very fizzy.
Very fizzy. I like it.
Because that is one of the reasons why I'll ever go to McDonald's.
Well, you just go, because if you're going to go out, you're going to go out swinging. You get full cream
milkshake and then shit yourself whilst you have a lethal injection.
Shit yourself.
They're like, sir, like
ruin everybody's day.
Instead of it going into your blood, just go straight through your digestive system and just shit yourself. So Mark's going out smelling of garlic and shitting himself from a milkshake, because I can assure you, most people's stomachs cannot withstand like a heavy milkshake.
No.
Like, I don't believe it, even if you're not dairy intolerant.
No, if you go in like a couple of bread baskets with butter, milkshake, ice cream at the end, good luck.
Good luck to all of the partners supporting that as well.
Like that time we went on holiday to Cape Town where there was a bit of an accident.
No, let me tell you, because this is actually... This was one of our first holidays together.
It was our first holiday.
Was it our first?
I think so.
No, it wasn't our first. It was our second. Our second holiday together. And funny enough, just back in fucking Cape Town, where we just seem to have been for so many years. But we went to Cape Town and we were in an Airbnb, weren't we?
Yeah, on Green
Point.
And
Mark, we'd arrived, and the first night we'd gone down and we'd had like a mega meal. Like I'm talking like 3 courses.
We took advantage of the exchange rate and went to the waterfront and was at that really...
Well, we ate, I think on average, we had at least 5 bread baskets, because it was focaccia bread. When me and Mark can eat, we can fucking eat, and that's why I was morbidly obese. Like literally, like I've still sometimes got it in my brain.
When you're like, excuse me, please, can I have some more bread, and just keep on bringing
and then it's free, the baskets.
Stop.
Do you know what I mean? So you're just like, fuck, like let's go at it. So we'd had the bread, then we had like a number of things. It must have been like meat,
couple starters,
everything like that, and then ice cream.
biltong starter, boerewors, a whole bunch of...
No, we had chocolate fondant from dessert. Fuck, I remember that. It was really good.
We ate pretty much everything on the
menu.
menu.
Mark couldn't even do a shirt up at the end of it. And then the next day, I'm in the shower. How the fuck? How did I even know? And I come into the bedroom and Mark's stripping the sheets. Like,
you just got
he's just taking the sheets off of the bed. And I'm like, babe, we've only been here for like a day. Why are you taking the sheets off? Like, the cleaner will come and do that. And then Mark was like, well...
There's no ways. You can't hide it. What are you going to say?
I just shut the bed. And Mark, literally like a fucking animal, literally had let one clearly slip.
Sometimes when you fart, you just follow through.
Mark, do you know what I mean? I really hope majority of men listen to this, because some women won't be able to listen to this. They'll be like, my God, that's grotesque.
But it happens to everybody, okay? So,
I think I was very nervous ever about pooing in front of Mark.
We're all going to get to an age at some point in
where
our
somebody's
life when we're
wiping
90
our
years
arse.
old, we're going to be shitting ourselves. So you may as well just get some practice.
No, somebody wiping your arse whilst you...
Yeah, that's even worse. At least I could wipe my own arse.
Oh.
But
no, you didn't. You wiped all over the sheets, Travis.
It's not my proudest of moments. But...
And that was like literally, we'd only been together for probably fucking 6 months. I would say we were still in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, and then I fell out the shower
and
broke the toilet. It cracked the toilets and all.
Oh my God.
To break it off the wall. And then I had to message the guy on Airbnb and send the picture and be like, bro, the whole toilet's come off.
For context, it was one of those, I hate showers in baths, but like, I get why it's a convenient source of space, but there was one of those shower curtains. And Mark literally just fucking was curled up in a ball, like, naked, like covered in water. The shower curtain over it. Oh God, I just cracked the fucking toilet in the Airbnb. I don't think we got our deposit back.
No.
Fuck. By the looks of it, Mark.
No.
Mark had to do some dry cleaning and some handyman work.
Yeah, I broke the toilet.
Hilarious, absolutely hilarious,
Hit
and
my
that's
head.
why you don't put your credit card down in a hotel.
Yeah, you don't. You just don't overdo it on the first night when it comes to eating.
Yeah, like, you know what I have to say though, because I'm so used to, like, obviously as you're saying, like eating at the moment, obviously have been very on track, and the results are showing, which can only get better from here. Who knows what next year's going to bring? But my stomach doesn't, like, I'm very set in routines. Like, I obviously eat like chocolate on a day-to-day basis, and like I don't really eat that much rich food. Like,
No.
I just don't, like. And then when I do, oh God, do you know what I mean? It's when the genes just
Or
like inflate.
when you do fine dining.
Oh God, the foam that gives you farts. Do you know what I mean?
The smears, and you don't think it's really much, but it's...
And then you're in the car and suddenly your stomach, like,
you're
that was a lot. Do you know what I mean? That was not a lot of food for me to take, but that was a lot for you to digest. And now we're going to play games.
All the random shit that you eat, like...
I don't like
quail's
fine
egg
dining.
that looks like...
It sounds very pretentious. I've been taken to many nice fine dining restaurants. I just think, oh, what's the fucking point?
so long, and
Do you remember
everyone's
11
standing there,
courses?
and they're like, this desiccated coconut. It's just like...
We didn't even get coconut. It was like a foam of a jus of a pomme de pommelala
it was
drip de la la, like literally. And then you're like, and then they're like, and now let's have a fucking palate cleanser.
3.5 hours later.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No, 3.5 hours later, more like 5 hours later.
Yeah, we were there for 3 because we didn't do the whole
Yes,
wine
we did.
experience. Oh no, we did.
I didn't do the wine experience. My father did. Came up paralytic. Do you know what I mean? 11 courses, 11 different wines. You're gonna have a really bad hangover the next fucking day.
Yeah,
I'm quite like stuck up
I
about the
get
fact I
it.
don't
It's
drink
very
that much.
it's very like the talent towards it is
I just really like to
exceptional,
understand.
but it's just an acquired taste.
Fuck, it's talented creating that shit. Don't get
I'd
me
rather
wrong.
go to a pub and have like
Yeah.
a banging roast, or like a pie or something like that. A little
Pie.
bit more
What pie with mash?
satiating. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
but
like a steak and ale pie or a pepper steak pie.
you just want more food. That's the thing. Like as I said, like it just gives you irritable bowel syndrome going to fucking fine dining restaurants. Honestly, like you just don't. Some people love that taste. I've got clients that love eating like Michelin star.
Do you think it also
becomes?
becomes down to like what you're exposed to as a child growing up? Because
But
there was only one fine dining restaurant in Harare, and I remember
you had a
going there
fine dining restaurant. Like I'm talking Michelin star.
Yeah, I would say it was.
Was it? No. It's not. You would say, was it a Michelin
how
star?
am I meant to predetermine
you need
whether
to
or not
Google it.
somewhere would have a Michelin star or not?
Because
I've got no
most
idea.
people know if it's
It
called a
was
Michelin
smears,
star.
it was foams, it was...
Doesn't mean it's Michelin though.
Well, for Harare, Zimbabwe, in the year 2000, it's as fancy as it's going to get. And I
Well-
just remember my dad just being like, this is an absolute waste of time and money because I'm still hungry. And all I've done is like eaten 10 grams of like...
Yeah, but you know what also is the fact that like you pay, like, well, not necessarily in Cape Town. If anyone ever goes, if you go to Cape Town, because all we talk about is fucking Cape Town, there is a fine dining restaurant. Well, is there a couple? There's a
quite a
couple.
few,
Do you know? I
yeah.
think that place is closed down. That other one. I think
nice.
COVID didn't do too well for a lot of these places, but there's one called La Colombe. Obviously, there's my French accent, La Colombe.
Very,
Bonjour, ça va?
it is an exceptional...
The location's incredible. The experience is great because it all comes out in this weird like steam and shit. Do you know what I mean? And like you're like, ooh, mystical.
Does sorry to interrupt you. Is Meredith still working there? Well, shout out to one of our
South and clients.
gang.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
She
Anyway,
was in the pastry section.
no, Mark's changed around quite a few
Did she?
times. Yeah. I think with that, like, it's just like uniform. Like, you just got to do it uniform. They don't change the menu that often. So like once you've done it, it's probably actually quite boring as a chef, like when a menu doesn't change that frequently, because you just got to do the same shit every single
Such
day.
a stressful job.
It's a very stressful job. We've worked with a lot in Cape Town. We work with a lot of chefs actually.
Yeah, that was one of the quirky things about running a gym in Cape Town. Lots of chefs.
Yeah, because food is obviously
food and travel.
It's mega
and travel
in Cape
there
Town.
is mega.
Compared to the price of what I mean, like in the UK, like you eat out, you eat at Nando's, you spend like £100 on a packet of mixed nuts or something. You're like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? You've come out, you've had a peri tamer chicken wing and like some seasoned nuts, and then you've spent
salad.
like a fucking £100. But like, I don't really think that's necessarily worth. Well, I would actually prefer Nando's to a fine dining meal. But in South Africa, I think La Colombe works out for like an 11-course meal. I might be completely wrong here.
No, you're right.
I think it's about 2,000 rand.
It was like
maybe if you have the wine, it's more.
I think it was about 2,000,
which is about £100, and you get like 11 courses. It's very, very fancy. You're there for hours. Fancy. Palate cleansers. Yeah, lots of foams and shit. Pieces of cheese that are like waxed in fucking some ancient squirrel or something. Like, it's all very fancy.
It's legit. There's lots of steam rising.
But I've eaten a Michelin star in the UK as well, and I think the only one that I've been at Heston Blumenthal's place. He's a bit weird though. He's a crazy fuck.
I've got loads of clients. I remember it was quite the rage to go to his dinner experience.
Yeah, at dinner. Is it dinner the restaurant at Mandarin Oriental in Knightsbridge? Yeah,
but then he also didn't he do another place
Fat
outside
Duck,
of
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But and also, who else have I eaten? I really enjoy food. I think like being like, fuck, if food didn't contain calories, Jesus, we'd be having a whale of a time. In fact, I did have a whale of a time. I was a whale for a lot of my time, like literally, like. A whale of a time, literally.
What was your go-to when you were at your peak? Savage mode.
Yeah. See, it's interesting, isn't it? Because like I never was one to like guzzle in like fizzy drinks or anything, like, you know what I mean, as a dish.
Everyone's got their different preferences.
Domino's, and I used to order enough for literally a family of 6, and then when it arrived I used to pretend there were other people around me and be like, yeah, it's coming, the food's here, and it's like, obviously I'm just eating this myself because I was just like, oh my god, the delivery driver's going to think.
What are we eating?
It was always about sides.
Pepperoni?
No, I was always like, I'm a bit weird with pizza. Like I think one of my favourite toppings was something like chicken and sweet corn. Chicken and sweet corn.
Onions.
Onions equal heartburn, but
worth it though.
Yeah, and then obviously garlic and herb dip. Like fuck, I literally still to this day bath myself in that shit.
Just drink it.
In fact, I was creating something for Soak Up. FYI, new business, if nobody knows. It's not a new business, it's the Arrow Club that's changing names. But I was doing a date night guide, which if you guys are listening to this, you'll soon be able to get access to download. But it was just kind of giving like very good swaps for sort of food choices if you wanted to, like, as a couple have date night but not just fucking overdo it. And I was like working out like what like a meal for 2 at Domino's was calories wise, and I literally was like, fucking hell, like, oh okay, like that's the reason why you were morbidly obese, Georgia. Yeah, like fuck, a meal for 2. You can easily do like 10,000 calories.
How did you used to order it? Did you just find them? Or
no, bruv, on the app. If you ever had the app, you watched
the
pizza.
What year are we talking about?
Years ago. Fuck, it was years ago. Well over 12 years ago. 10. Domino's hasn't really changed though. It's just brought out a few things. They've now got Nutella pizza rolls. Do you know what I mean? It's just something that I would. But remember, it was pizza, sides, chicken tenders, wedges, garlic and herb dip, Diet Coke, but never really like was one for fizzy drinks, as I said. Like at least 2 things of cookies, Domino's cookies, like ice cream, like, yeah. I'm surprised I even had a digestive system.
I always am surprised by people that can drink like 4 to 5 litres of Diet Coke a day.
Yeah, that my cousin used to be like that.
Yeah.
In fact, I've
It's
had a
mine
client
too.
that drank so much Diet Coke they had to
Mine
stop
too.
because it was like just becoming
Just
really, really
put
bad.
lips on the bottle and just go for it.
You know, I've never been one. I think that sparkling water tastes like liquid paracetamol.
Oh
I can't
no,
understand how
I
people
just,
find it refreshing.
I
I like Diet Coke now, but I think that's come from a dieting point. I think Diet Coke is one of those things that when you're really hungry and you're on like a goal, you know what I mean? Like the last like few
yeah, it
months, we've
hits the
obviously been
spot.
like nailing it hard. And like sometimes, especially when I'm like around my period, or I just feel like, you know, a marshmallow or like a Kit Kat would do me well right now. I'm like, right, I'll have a fucking Diet Coke. Here we go. And it's that whole thing. It's like, oh, this is so satisfying. Do you know
It
what I
is
mean? It's
quite
like you're
satisfying,
sucking on
though.
some kind of sweetener. But I wouldn't. A Diet Coke is nice with ice, and ideally on a beach somewhere, it's even better. Like a Diet Coke, ice,
Yeah.
turquoise ocean,
Sun.
sunbed, sun, a
27
book.
degrees.
27, 32.
Yeah. Oh no, it's too much.
Just fuck, that's
You're gonna get wrinkly.
fuck. I would take the wrinkles right now because I could fill them with Botox. I would rather. Well, actually, people were like, sun damage is so bad for you, but like when you're in the UK,
Oh, no,
I'm currently sat in
really
my puffer
struggled.
jacket.
Really struggled.
You look
with
out the
this,
window, it looks like Hogwarts because there's like you can't see anything. It's so foggy. Like it's just there's no comparison.
I do quite like the fog though, because it could be like a horror movie.
Oh, what do you want to do, Jeffrey Dahmer? Do you know what I mean?
Zombies. It could be like zombies.
Yeah, you liked watching that program. What was it?
Which one?
The zombie program.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, God, so boring. It's just such the same
The
thing.
first 3 seasons were unbelievable, and then it got weird.
Really upset to find out that on Netflix they had a Ghislaine Maxwell documentary, only to realise it's just another half-assed effort of a documentary on Jeffrey Epstein and Maxwell. Fuck, I just want somebody to go in and to find out that Bill Clinton really is.
Yeah, we want the good stuff. We want the good stuff, but it will never happen.
It was all the Bills, wasn't it? Bill Clinton, Bill Gates,
Oh, yeah,
Bill
that's
Cosby.
true.
He was also a fucking child.
You're onto something.
No, because I like Bill Nye. That's one of my favourite.
You never know, he might be.
No, don't say that. Bill. It is Bill Nye, isn't it? The actor.
Oh, the guy
Love
from
Actually.
Pirates of. No, I take that back. He's a legend. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Love Actually.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, well that's.
Do you see Johnny Depp is
not in the next
He's coming
one.
back. He's coming
not
back.
They said that he was not coming back.
They said he's coming back.
Disney said that they've cut ties.
Please Google it.
No, I'm not going to because it's another thing
Here
that
we
we're going
go.
to talk about, like Princess Diana's funeral. Do you know
Where
what
I
mean?
was right.
No, you weren't right. Do you know what I
was
mean?
right.
I am astounded that many people were that interested in Michael Jackson.
So many people were.
But you know, the other day we listened to what is it? Heart Naughty? No. What is the thousands?
The thousands.
2000s.
2000s. Millennium.
I can't say the word, so you
Say
can
millennium.
say it. I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
I can't say it.
Say the word millennium.
Why even? What? Millennium.
Millennium.
I still can't say it. I literally, since a child, have never been able to say it.
There's certain
Millennium.
Millennium.
Millennium. Yeah, I still can't do it.
Do you remember when the year 2000 came around and everyone thought the world was going to end?
No, I probably wasn't old enough.
Yeah.
Remember, you're 7 years
thing.
my senior. The grey hairs are coming. I told Mark that he could come to my next Botox appointment.
Just to get the forehead filled out.
Yeah, and I showed him a photo of him just normal, and then I just like slightly lifted it with my hands, and the difference was absolutely astonishing.
Once you start, you can't go back though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm literally like 3 years deep into it, and it's a problem. Do you know what I mean? I literally.
It's not like something that you can just do once and then just. It's something that once you start, you have to commit yourself.
Like, I know plenty of people that just will not talk about the fact that they've had work done because they've had so much done that it's almost embarrassing.
Yeah,
but
they're
like
faces
but I
looking all
kind of think like
clapped
this is reasons why I have Botox. Number one, I have worked long hours, and I think that didn't do well for my face young. Two, I lost a lot of weight. My face went weird for a period of time.
Yeah.
3,
air pollution.
Oh, fucking London. I used to have I'm very blessed with the fact that I've got good skin now, but Jesus, in London, I would literally have like mild acne all over my forehead.
Air pollution is...
Yeah, it was mega. It's disgusting. Like, you wipe your face after like an hour in a gym and it's like brown, like dirt all over it. It's gross. But yeah, no, I would say that also because I train very hard, and like I do train very hard.
What does that got to do
I
with
use
it?
facial expressions more. And I also am
gym
on my
face.
laptop a lot, and I feel like I frown when I'm like talking or like I'm using my face too much, and I hate it because like I'm gonna age much quicker. So just a little bit. I don't have my whole forehead frozen.
I think you're aging like a fine wine.
I would actually say that I'm far better off now than I was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm
you're definitely
way better.
You're definitely getting better.
Oh, thanks, Mark. And you're going to join the club on getting better, or are you going to get worse?
I have also been getting
Oh,
better.
okay. You're meant to somebody to compliment that to you, not tell yourself that.
Well,
after your Botox appointment, you'll be even better. You'll be like a fucking, like, you were
then
born
I'll dye
in
my
2000s.
hair, and then I'll be, or maybe shave my beard off, and then I'll be...
No, don't you dare shave your beard off.
21 again.
Your mum would love it if you shaved your beard off.
That's probably, I know, it
Mark
just looks
nearly
bad.
had a near shaved beard when we were in lockdown, and
COVID,
you tried to shave your own.
overconfident, try to fade the beard into the hair, and
never used a pair of
failed.
clippers in his whole fucking life, I
Failed.
swear. Like, literally
it was
took half
bad.
the beard off, and you ended up with this like line.
oh no, it was just so terrible.
And then you shaved all your hair off, and literally you did. I've got.
No, I shaved my hair off, and with the full beard, it was okay. It looked okay.
A little bit convicty.
Yeah, but I don't mind that because then I look hard.
Do you know what? You say that, but Mark just think, oh, I hate it that people like judge me for like what I look like and my size. And then he's like, oh, I want to look like a convict. Do you know what I mean? Like, no wonder. Do you know what I mean? If you get any more tattoos,
Yeah, I
you
want
might.
to, people to look at me and just think,
Fuck, he looks well hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I've never seen you in a fist fight ever. In fact, you had boxing lessons and you didn't exactly take anybody down, did you?
Oh, well, I did.
I did. In fact, should we message
Do you want to play
Hendrik?
my video where my coach said I beat a guy up black and blue?
Oh, you're really proud of that, aren't you? Beating people up.
Well,
I've
when
never
you go
seen it though in
boxing.
an actual thing. I'd love to see it.
What do you want me
like-
to just go around fighting people for no reason?
Yeah, but sometimes you're like, oh, I'll drop them. I'm like that. Will you actually? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I never
I've
have
never
to
seen it.
get to that point.
See, like,
When have I ever been in
well, then
in a
you're not very
position-
hard. Do you know what I mean? Because you'd be going out looking for hard things to do. wouldn't you?
Hard things.
Hard things. That sounds really bad. Now I'm thinking of erections, and that's something.
Oh, that's pretty good.
No.
Hopefully
Of course,
you're not
any time to talk about something
thinking
sexual, Mark.
about anybody else's erection.
No, I was just saying you're going out looking for something hard. It doesn't exactly sound great, does it? Well, there's nothing wrong with something hard. Anyway. Mark's well hard. Not right now, just...
That would be awkward.
It's fucking awkward. Anyway, this is just a nice chit chat on the podcast, talking about absolutely fucking weird shit.
Yeah, weird shit. Should we do that thing that Raymond suggested? If you could, in
You seem really
hindsight,
enthusiastic about it.
in hindsight, looking back at your professional career,
Oh, no, I need
if
to be
you could
professional.
change something, with hindsight, would you change the way you've conducted yourself, or in terms of business with regard?
Okay, right. Well, number one, the question doesn't make any sense because you can't get it out. So what was it?
Well, you haven't even let me finish my
Well,
sentence.
because you went on and on and on, and that's not a question.
Would you, in hindsight, would you change anything about your professional career?
I guess to become a professional in something, you've obviously got to have quite a lot of experience. And I feel like sometimes the best experience is obviously one, learnt, do you know what I mean, throughout the years, but two, like, I'm a real strong believer you just get better with like minor mistakes, do you know what I mean? And I think if in hindsight I wouldn't have worked around so many creepy gym owners, that's fucking number one. Like, I would say I would have got into strength training much earlier than I would have.
Yeah.
With clients, I wouldn't have put up with so much shit that I got sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, like, I'm definitely one that can say that I'm a person that very much struggles to say no with,
Yeah.
like, my job. It's one of the biggest learning things
Yeah.
I've
True.
had to learn in this job, because you're very, very, if you're in, I'm not saying so much, even actually with online, when we transitioned all to online, it was still the same thing. Like, you feel like you're obliged to give something to people, even if they haven't fucking done anything, or like, you just feel bad. And people, like, some people to deal with in a customer service online job, like, they're fucking shit. Like, and we're not going to lie about that. Not, this is like 10, I would say 5%, do you know what I mean? Have been really, like, some people have been so rude to you. Some people send you emails where you're just like, you can literally, quite literally, go fuck yourself. And I sometimes wish that I had actually said that, rather than being like polite.
Yeah.
I know polite and
You
being
take the
professional
high
becomes,
road though.
but sometimes we have been spoken, like, if you've been, you might be more aware of us over social media now, because especially if you've come with us from the Arrow Club, like, we have never been like totally like at one with like showing all of our lives to people and stuff like that. So when people don't necessarily know who they're 100% dealing with all the time, it was very different when we were in London, because this was face-to-face stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when it's online, people just think that they're talking to like somebody in a call center where they can speak to. I'm really against that as well, because people speak like, when I say thank you to people that are helping me, like from a serve, something, they're like almost astounded, because they clearly get like so many rude
Abused,
fucking
yeah.
and abuse, like on a day-to-day basis, for like no reason, because people's patience is like minimal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that from experience, I wouldn't change anything, because I feel like my experience has been great. I think life experience of moving to South Africa, we moved for a reason of having a breather in a weird way, but opening up business. I think we met some amazing people. In fact, we still got some of those clients.
Yeah.
Would I have opened up a gym in Cape Town? Probably not.
Yeah.
Would I have let a lot of people like literally control my life for many, many years? No, I wouldn't have. I think going back in hindsight, my life was literally like, I had a lot to deal with, and I was very young as well. And I think like sometimes it's just a bit too much. And yeah, in hindsight, the biggest thing, and I still to this day don't think I can do it, is to tell someone to go fuck themselves. Because sometimes I'm a firm believer you actually should be told that you're rude and you're an imbecile. Do you know what I mean? Like, not that it comes back on us. The biggest thing, just as a side note with our jobs, is that this has happened less and less, I guess, as we've matured into it.
Yeah.
But when somebody doesn't get a result due to their own poor level of application or willingness, the first person they're going to go at is you. And that's what I'm so against. I'm like, get your shit together. Do you know what I mean? This is not our problem. This is your problem. And like, even if you've literally helped somebody, like, we've had it a few times, do you know what I mean? Without thousands of people we've worked with, we should have had it a few times.
Yeah, of course.
But if I could change one thing, I would tell some people to go fuck themselves more, because I just cannot say no. I'm like one of those people, and I end up in situations where I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why am I in this?
Yeah.
What about you?
I would have trained less clients and
Yeah.
marketed myself more as a brand when I had the opportunity.
But you didn't fucking need to.
I was but I should have
Later on,
capitalized
like at the start.
on like doing more. Like, there was a point in time where I was asked to write for pretty much every major magazine in the United Kingdom, and my own ego stopped me from doing that, in the sense that they asked me to write a whole bunch of really dumb.
That's so true. I said no to so
They
many
said,
things on that.
"Oh,
I did
write
say no.
us Vogue magazine, write us a piece on pre-toxing, so like a detox before a detox." And I was like, wrote a whole piece on why that's such a dumb idea, and they were like, "We can't use this because this is what's currently trending, and if you're not gonna write and basically get on board with it, then we're going to use somebody else." And I was like, well, this is just the dumbest topic
But you
ever.
see it now, though, because like people that are like, well-known
Yeah, I guess, but
influencers in the fitness world, they like will only ever have a section
I should have just
on, like,
sucked it up, got on with it, and then my brand as an individual or a business would have been that much greater, because you would have just, instead of trying to swim against the current, swim with it. You know what I mean? And just so
but like
many
you've never been
obligations
one to, like,
of, do you want to do this work? No, I can't, because I'm loyal to my clients and I'm always going to train. I spend too much time in the gym and not going and talking at events, going and doing corporate gigs, going and doing writing for more magazines, going and doing an actual something that's gonna.
But in hindsight, like, you look back and if you type your name into Google, you're topless with fucking Spencer Matthews. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not exactly great when you've got magazine articles which are like, burn fat in fucking 4 days, and it's like, just like, drink apple cider vinegar and do some star jumps. Do you know what I mean? And then that's your name.
You start with that and then potentially.
Well, that's how Matt Roberts made it.
Yeah, bigger and better things, but because your name is in and around magazines and all those things, which meant a lot back in the day.
Yeah, but listen, what about if, for example, like, I think of some of like the OG fitness people, like gym owners or like big branded gyms, like in, say, London, like, so we're talking like the OGs, we're probably talking UP, we're talking Matt Roberts, some of the ones that you've worked for, which obviously then fucked over a load of people, like, I kind of look back and like what they've built, okay, it might be worth financially quite a lot of money, maybe not so much now actually, but what they've built underneath them is fucking shoddy, like really shoddy. The standard of training, the experience level of like candidate, like, we've had plenty of people who have trained at Matt Roberts and have done all of those like places and have been given some like shitty like personal trainer who doesn't give two flying fucks, puts them on the cross train and tells them they're fat. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's really shoddy. What you're saying is you kind of wish you were probably more front and present rather than being the person always behind, I guess, in a sense. But actually, your standard with clients has always been very, very high. And I think that's something that those are the people that you should always really give a fuck about, is the client.
But I just feel like as a individual...
Would your service have slipped if you'd started being fucking some magazine guru?
That's the thing, whereas I would have had to have scaled back and not done as many PT sessions and actually put myself out there and done more social media branding, like big statement. I used to get given loads of clothes. Now, I used to get given
is really inexperienced.
Loads of shit for free because I used to train all those people, and I never capitalized on that.
But why do you need to capitalise on it?
Because
being honest with you, half those people were just fucking whiny. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I appreciate that, but I should have leveraged that more to...
Yeah, well, you could have utilised it to potentially like we were very lucky that a lot of our clients were like, oh, we want to invest in you, let's invest in shit, let's do this, let's do that. But I think in hindsight, we always had the client as the first and foremost in our brain, and that was our job. And actually, we say this now, like, we deal with more people now than we ever have done, because when you're a face-to-face trainer, normally on average we'd have clients training us minimum twice a week, but on average 3 or 4 times a week. There's only a certain amount of hours in a day a trainer can train. If somebody's training, on average 4 to 5 times a week, you're like very close with your clients, like, the ones that train. You don't... There's so many opportunities. I went to like so many events for like sportswear things, and oh my God, can we give you a fucking discount code? Oh my God, can you wear this? Can you do this? Can you do that?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
All they wanted was my clients.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to get at as well, we spent a lot of the time was very, very client focused, but that doesn't always get you, and not to say that's a good or a bad thing, but sometimes
to scale
that doesn't,
something maybe not
doesn't get you far in business and business terms when you put 100% into your client and you're not able to do anything outside of just coaching people in a gym.
Yeah, but I'm also going to make a large statement. You're just not that type of person.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you just like, you going on camera is something that is you just never done it. Like you
Yeah,
are,
but in hindsight,
like
if
your
I could
clients were
change
always in
that,
front of cameras because they were either like well known or they were in front of cameras like the whole time. Like it, it's almost like it's a bit. Why is it that now these days that we wish we were more present? Like I still have like 20 fucking 8,000 followers on my own Instagram. I couldn't want them less. Like I know this sounds really rude, but like there's this expectation when you have following or where you become, and actually it's clear that I don't really like showing my life. Do you know what I mean? I really don't like having to do certain elements of it. Like, and I think that's where we've been
yeah,
forced
but
to
I feel
believe is
like
better.
if I was able to have scaled at that, at that given point in time, then
Well, you might have opened up a franchise, loads of gyms, and you might have had a name on something somewhere. But like, was there going to be longevity to something that's still
no, I
like?
guess you never really know, do you? It's all
The thing is, so
hypothetical.
just because they use you, do you know what I mean? Like, fuck, like, hi, can you write for this? Or hi, would you like to have a phone call on this? Or hi, like,
There's
all of
so much
it's
stuff I turned
changed so
down.
much now. Like, it's changed a lot because
And
like
I
you've
was
got to be
also,
like.
there was so much stuff that I said no to because I was an egotistical little prick.
Yeah, but I was asked to do like best herbal supplements for the de-bloating. I'm not gonna fucking
Yeah,
tell
it's
you
so
that. Do you know what I
dumb.
mean? Like, I literally like what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? I had clients that used to like go and take them to like salt retreats and just drink salt water for like 6
I
days and then like
remember
purge.
writing an entire case study for women's health, and basically they were like, "This is not fatty enough."
Yeah, that's the problem. They just want you to write fads. Like every person you see in magazines now that is a fitness professional talking normally doesn't have that many brain cells on actual training. Either they're doing it for publicity and they've got an agent and they're like, right, you need to be in front of people more because you are the influencer. Or it's just like, here's some box jumps and my fucking favourite sports bra. Do you know what I mean? It's like, wow, like, is this really what we're at? Like, you could, something like women's health could have a different fucking cover for once in their whole bloody life. Oh, wait, it's the same people all the time. And second of all, they could actually write something that's half decent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the moment, like in the past couple of years, women's health is unfortunately, it's just not what I think should be representing female health, like in any way,
I don't
shape,
think
or
it does
form.
though, because of the.
But it does, unfortunately, it
the
does.
overall reach of that magazine in particular has declined and continues
Most
to decline
magazines have, though.
on an annual basis. There's like, if when you look at the statistics, there's like
Yeah, but remember
40,000
digital print,
people.
it went from being like a hard copy to digital print to being online. Like now you can only track metrics via like them going on and reading a blog post. Like how many people actually buy a magazine? Like I love magazines, but how much do I actually buy them? I don't.
No,
Like,
no.
you know, so unless somebody's going to get you a subscription for that at Christmas, God hope they don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like,
and basing your entire business model of influencers is not a good idea.
no, I really just, and also this is another thing, side note, is the fact that like so many people that used to represent those brands who still do have changed completely as a person, which is not a bad thing, but what they promoted before and what they promote now are two different stories. I just can't get amongst like changing your tune that much.
Yeah, but that's what frustrates me, is having known that if I had taken advantage of, because some of those people have become so successful
No,
in one given right, but have limited understanding and limited care in actually wanting to
I don't
do
think
that
they're
job.
as successful as what
Well, the
social media
assumption
makes
is,
them out to
okay,
be.
well,
Like,
you take it with a pinch of salt. Then,
I
but
think everybody since COVID is seeing a decline in just everything. Do you know what I mean? And just like the fact that like not many people are. I would say that like I would.
yeah, but if you were to
I don't-
ask 10 people who are the thought leaders or the biggest in the industry when it comes to X, Y, and Z, and then it's...
It would all be different. 'Cause it
Yeah,
depends
I
on the
guess.
age range. Do you know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
guess.
Like what my mum would say would be very different to what like my best friend would say, or like, you know what I mean? Like because of age range. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't think, I might be wrong, but if you're like 50 plus years old, are you looking at like a 20-year-old and going like, wow?
I have no
Probably.
idea. I don't know.
Because that's
maybe.
the world we live in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not to say it's a bad thing, but I just think that the way that people have presented themselves in those kind of publications is not something that I would go unnoticed to me.
Yeah, but
like
I
you
just
can't
think,
sell yourself on being like super fucking lean and whatever, which is abnormal to most people. Selling books on it being fucking lean and being this and eat that when there's no scientific backup towards it, then completely changing your tune and then empowering people's bodies. Like, please don't. Like, it's too. I get people change. Like, I've changed a lot throughout my years, but my mindset on what I've done with my clients has still always been the fact that I'm not going to fuck your life up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so many people have put out these images, which is like, oh my God, this is the ultimate. I am the ultimate. You need to be like me. Little did you know you're on fucking Anavar, Calembuterol, all of the things that make you just so fucking lean as steroids as a woman. And then suddenly 5 years later, which is obviously means you've yo-yoed. Not to say it's a bad thing. You probably look far better now than you did when you were super lean.
Yeah,
but now
sure.
you're selling a different story. And that's when I've got a problem with it, because I'm like, you put out two things. One, that you needed to be like this, and now you've got to be something else. Like, that's not truthful. You know what I mean? I think if you look back,
and always referencing back to it with, subconsciously by consistently posting about the fact that you used to look a certain way. If
I've
you
got a real
were
issue
so
with
unhappy
that. Like,
about
yeah.
you were so unhappy about it, you would just not constantly bring it up.
I think also it's that thing that we don't really, why are we so obsessed with also just like bodies and the way that we used to look or how we look now? Like, at the end of the day, it's always going to be a weird fascination, I know, with people. But I think like selling yourself on a body and then just telling everybody that was the wrong and you were manically depressed then, but yet you made so much money off of people. If you looked into a lot of influencers, and actually just did a little bit of fucking pre-assess before you start thinking about their life or how they live, and remember what they potentially used to post 4 years ago, I can assure you majority of it is the complete opposite.
Well,
I see it literally
a lot
daily.
of people built their fame with using their own before and afters from when they were relatively overweight or holding child, teenager, puppy fat, to being super shredded. And then that's how they got their meteoric rise, selling guidebooks and books and all this other shit, which got them the hundreds of thousands of followers. And then all of a sudden, people can't sustain it. And then it's, oh no, I was really unhappy.
And also, I've got a massive problem.
Which one were you on the come up? Were you using the before and after, showing everybody that you're super shredded and look how much progress I made? To
suddenly that was really, really unhealthy, and this was like manically depressive.
And do you know what? One of the other things, complete utter sidetrack, when I was on site doing a women's health cover, it was the fact that they were editing the photos before it even fucking happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Bang, take the photo, edit it. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, you know what? It's not like this chick hasn't trained 3-4 times a week for 16 weeks, been in a calorie deficit. Like, I put my heart and soul into the periodization. This chick has actually put the work in and got lean, has visible abs, blah, 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 blah. Got so strong, and before it's even a question of should it or should it not be edited, it's edited.
Yeah, but I get it. Like,
and then you want to talk about empowering women, yet you're editing and filtering the covers.
No, I get that. And it's the same with the fact that they've massively, like, they went from promoting leanness to then promoting people, which, as somebody that has been morbidly obese on the level of being a pre-diabetic and have literally nearly fucking killed myself due to it, I think I have the right to say that, like, promoting people who are overweight and very visibly like on magazines and expecting it to be relatable to people is not the right way to market. Like, it's just not. It's like two polar opposites. At what point do you want this? And there's always been memes about this, like with like women's magazines. Like, you've got like page 3, do you know what I mean? How to lose 10 pounds. Page 5, a cake recipe. Page 6, love yourself. Page fucking 8, your shit. Like, this is how to overcome. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like all a load of faff, but people do read into it because these names have had, like, I guess, years and years and years of cementing the fact that that's what women's, like, I think men is exactly the same though.
Oh yeah,
like,
of
fuck,
course.
like,
It's just varying into like testosterone levels and getting it's like bodybuilding magazines are exactly the same.
but also like GQ, Men's Health,
Yeah.
like they're all
Yeah.
exactly the same. It's like, here's how to do a bent over barbell row for the 400th
Yeah.
time. But this time we're just going to choose a different man with his top off to show you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's literally the same shit. But
Yeah.
it just, I do think that like maybe like magazines obviously have still got their place, but probably more online than they do as like hard copies. But I just think that it's about fucking time. Do you know what I mean? Can we have some like good articles in magazines? Like maybe that would actually make people read them more. Like nobody wants to buy your magazine when you've told them that like apple cider vinegar's good, and then suddenly no, it's bad for you, and then oh my god, your gut health's going to explode, and oh, let me just get an expert to advise you on your gut health, and oh my god, actually from further research it seems that gut health isn't the, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like so contradictory. It's almost just like I can't believe they can even publish this.
It's so
But
trash.
in hindsight, I would say, I know you're always like, oh, I wish I'd taken up more opportunity on things. I think everything happens for a reason, and I'm kind of happy that I didn't take up so much, because my image probably would have been quite damaged early on. If you look back at like what some people have written about, if someone typed your name in, they're like, oh, I wonder how like well known this guy is. Oh, he owns gyms. And you saw just a load of articles that were just pile of dog shit written in 2014. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd probably be like, oh my God, can that be deleted? Just like when you upload something on Instagram 12 years ago, delete. Do you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate that.
Nobody wants a sepia filter on something, you know?
I
It's
appreciate
like,
that.
it's just things change. And I think, yeah, okay, now exposure is something which I guess is like, you've got to work hard at growing. Like, you know, we've gone past the phase of like, fucking shooting up and being well known online. It's like these people are just well known now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just the way it is. It's been like this for years. Like the OGs, you know, it's probably not going to change. But do I see like more people like shooting up to like influence level? No. If anything, I see it going down.
Yeah.
But I guess online, like, getting known and getting is very different to face to face.
Yeah, I just think that I should have just thought the long game out, you know what I mean, and being like, I can do certain things that will put my name and brand out there.
You didn't even have a fucking brand, Mark. You didn't even know how to draw a pencil.
Yeah, but it would have forced me to
MG.
do so if I was, you know.
Yeah, but there was also reasons why you carry on training your clients, because you're also training a client, and years of training clients and bringing on new clients or doing all of that is way more experience than writing some shite article on like a star jump. Like, when you go with suggestions to magazines, it's just not sellable. So it's just like, well, actually...
No, I know. And I should have just...
I don't think I think
bullshit.
You can always look back and go like, oh, I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd done that. But like, would you have been in any better position? You just don't know. Life takes you in weird ways for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like why?
Should have got an agency.
Oh no!
Should have done the whole.
What the fuck? So you could be like Mark Garlick with your
written a book, top off, written a book.
I'd rather write a book now about my experiences.
Be a New York Times bestseller like everybody, or an Amazon. I'm number one in Amazon.
Yeah, because you just made all your influence fucking buy it, and then it shot up.
So I can put that in my bio. I could have had that in my bio. Mark Garlick, professional celebrity personal trainer. 2-time bestseller for fucking insert, you know, whatever most people put in when they sell books.
Yep. So you want to be a celebrity?
I could have.
No, that's a sad little life.
I could have been the next Joe X. I could have raised money for charity.
You didn't have a personality, Mark, like that. Wow. Do you know what I mean? Were you throwing midget trees into a microwave? Do you know what I mean? No. You didn't even know what a midget tree was when you fucking moved to the UK. You didn't have tender stem in bloody...
I didn't,
yeah, exactly.
We didn't have tender stem.
And tender stem's the best. Like... You didn't have a phone. Your clients bought you your first iPhone because they just were so horrified you were sat there with like a Nokia typing phone. Like, let's just bring you back circa fucking 2000
I needed you in my life, babe. You could have just brought me up a notch.
But I was like 7 when you were like fucking doing this. Do you know what I mean? At what point was that okay? Like, just like Balenciaga's new
God.
campaign.
Oh my
Fucking
God.
BDSM
Yeah, I
teddy
should have
bears.
just taken the advice of my client, Avril, from day one. She just laid it out. She was a business strategist that helped companies
I just feel
scale
like you
to...
sound really sad. Do you know what I mean? But like you forget that
No, everything
honestly,
happens
Mark
for...
never uses. If you actually follow either of us on Instagram, and the same with us, so Mark is like a dad's Instagram. There is no other way to describe it. He will select the worst photo. Won't even think about the lighting of it. Do you know what I mean? It will just go up. Mark used to upload photos of like client food, a packet of almonds. Do you know what I mean? That was the photo. Client on track. What the fuck? 12
Yeah,
almonds?
but maybe
Really?
if I... Maybe if I'd taken an agency offer, I would have had a social media team.
Can I just be honest with you? I built my own social media from just
Yeah, but
being
not
normal.
everybody is as talented and
I don't
visionary
use
as
it,
you.
Mark. It's not talented and
Yeah,
visual.
but
Do
you
you know
are
what I
good
mean?
at social media and
I hate it.
branding. Yeah, no, you hate it.
Social media is like my worst thing, but I still do it. Not because I don't
No.
like just helping, but just because I just don't like the expectation. I never have. Anyway, that's for another day of a rant.
Yeah, it's another day of...
But no, I don't think I would change much. I think you can always look back
I think
and
in
go like, oh, I'll
hindsight,
do this
it would
differently.
have brought a whole bunch of new challenges and
You had enough challenges going on. How could you have migrated? And also, just remember,
and you know what? I
what
would
earns you
have
the most amount of fucking money? Clients paying you. Do you know what I mean?
Wonga.
Not Wonga. Yeah, you get paid a lot of money, Mark. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then
not to
just,
say
oh,
that a
sorry,
lot of
I've got to
these-
write an article on gut health. Do you know what I mean? So I can't train you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're training somebody that's in the fucking Crown, or you're training somebody. Is that not better PR? The fact that you didn't even
But
need
I
to
didn't
ask
PR
for that.
though.
You didn't PR it. You got fucking asked to train. You didn't even.
There's
They
so many
came to you to train
celebrities
you,
that I
train
didn't
them.
even document, that I even...
But my point is you didn't get agents contacting you going, oh, can you train
But
my
there's
client
some
for
people,
free?
there's some...
Shh.
Oh, sorry.
Because Mark's being miserable about it. People came to Mark to train with him. They paid him. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't just like this whole thing of like, hey, bro, like, can I train you because you've got like 10 fucking Instagram followers? He had people come to him, celebrities come to him and say, I want you to train me. You know what I mean? That's big enough PR in its own fucking right.
Yeah,
Like,
but not if
circa
nobody
type
knows
Mark
about
Garlick into
it.
Google, you'll see him topless.
But nobody will know. Nobody knows about it because it's not been...
But why do you need to be topless with Spencer Matthews?
No, I don't need to be topless with Spencer, but there were
Some
other
very famous
instances.
people, but also there was confidentiality. It's the same with mine. If these people are paying you, it's not about just plastering their life and their fucking...
Yeah, but I still see there's one guy, maybe it's just the like he's still waxing the same. He trained Hugh Jackman like fucking 9
17
million
years
years
ago.
ago. And it's still the same photo.
Yeah, and guess what? He's still running his business. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
true.
And the thing is, though, it's not necessarily about that. I think it just... We've always been very true to ourselves on like if we are training a client there and then and we share the result, it's because it's a client there and then. Like bringing back circa fucking 2006 clients.
Yeah.
Well, it's not 2006. It was very frequent. It was very recent, but like
Yeah, I was
it's
saying
you know you know what I mean. Sometimes it doesn't
2016.
feel if you're not training them there and then, or you're not in the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right just
Yeah.
fucking plastering.
Sure.
Plus, if a client's paying you, there's a level of confidentiality, do you know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
the main thing. Like,
Yeah.
you don't overstep the limits with people. If
I
they
know
don't
there's a
want
lot
to.
of I wouldn't change anything, and
There we go, Mark's reverting.
no, I'm just saying it was in hindsight, but everything happens for a reason. And
And with that
like
note,
you said, we've got experience actually in the trenches on the gym floor with clients, and
the
that
trenches
is
and beautiful private studio in London. Do you know what I mean?
no figuratively.
You've not been in a fucking trench, do you know what I mean? You've
I've-
never been.
No, I've never been in a
behaving
trench.
like you were in the military, do you know what I mean? Fuck. Maybe you should have been.
Yeah, there was
'Cause you're well-armed.
there was a couple of us that wanted to apply for
Okay, nobody
the
cares.
British military.
What?
Bryn
Zimbabwean
Jones,
military?
Bryn Jones, no, British military, Georgia, British
You
military,
don't
because
even
we were
have
in
a
the
British
Commonwealth.
passport.
We were in the Commonwealth
Not
at that
anymore,
time.
you're fucking not.
Yeah, Bryn Jones,
Actually, no, it's South African.
he got said no because he was too
I was about to say
ADHD.
something there.
Kevin Morgan, he wasn't allowed in because he had weird blood. And
Why
then
were you?
I didn't
'Cause you were
apply
too hard.
because yeah, I was just They looked at it, they were just like,
Fuck, his guy's
too
too
much.
hard.
too much. Like,
He's going to fucking bulldoze any kind of...
so should we send him to the SAS?
I'd love to see
No
you run
way.
with a fucking rucksack
I
on your
would
back. You would
make
die.
it 4 meters and then
Die. Do you know what I mean? In a desert, I think one of us should go on SAS. Who does win?
Yeah, I do think you should do it because I think you would be very entertaining on reality TV.
When somebody's screaming in your face.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Maybe I should do it.
I think you should.
I'll apply now. channel4.com/SS. Who does wins applications and then get kicked out on the first round and be miserable.
I'd be so disappointed if you did.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd
You'd
be
have
so
to-
disappointed.
You'd have to last is not something
Bruv,
we should
I've always said,
encourage.
if I was to ever do that, I wouldn't be going on to be pathetic.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
So what I'm trying to say is we
There was
are
one trainer that did it. And she was like,
individual.
"Oh, I'm a CrossFitter. I can do it." And then they are made to hold like something above her head, and she failed
She actually got kicked out for
Yeah.
being. They were like, we choose for you to leave.
because it's you're weak. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I could never be like that. If I'm going on to
Especially
be
in the overhead press, she struggled,
Fucking
which was like
fuck.
out of all the
like,
things.
if you're an
that
Olympic
you do,
lifter or
come on,
CrossFitter,
man.
if you can't do an overhead press and hold it, do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
you
Like,
got to
literally.
reassess yourself.
But I would go in and I would have trained for that. But
I would
anyway,
have
for another
to-
day.
I would need to lose 30 kgs.
Yeah, which is obviously not going to happen because you like Biscoff spread. Anyway.
I ate Biscoff spread with a
stale bagel.
whilst Georgia was away.
Stale.
'Cause
do
I
you know what mean?
knew-
Didn't even toast it.
I knew that if I was to eat it in front of her, she would say, "No ways, throw that in the bin." So I took it out. I cut it in half. It took me about 20 minutes.
And now,
And
and then I had
ate.
heartburn for 3 hours afterwards.
did
Whilst I
actually
moaned
have
at my
heartburn.
wife that I'd eaten too much chocolate.
I did have heartburn.
Anyway, for another day of rambles. Speak
Yeah.
soon, all.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.